Hi there, Libras. It's me, Priscilla B, and welcome to your love reading for the month of August. I'm using this beautiful pink tarot deck for beginners. This is like the original OG of tarot decks, but in pink, so that makes it so much more awesome. Everything should always be in pink, I say. All right, so anyways, we are looking here at your love life for the month of August, Libras. I know you want to know what's going on, so let's find out. I want to know what's going on too. What's the tea with Libras? Okay, let's see here. Some of these cards are facing one way, some are facing another way. All right, let's see. Shuffle this up real good. Reading for you. All right, let's see, shall we? All right. Oh, okay. So we have the Four of Swords. So it's definitely a time of rest and relaxation. Okay. I feel like it's like a whodunit type of situation when it comes to your love life. Like, who did the other person fall in love with first? Like, who fell in love first? Who, said the first "I love you"? Right? It's kind of like a competition, Libra, for some reason. Yeah, I mean, I think there's like this sense that, you're looking for this period of rest, you're looking for this period of time of relaxation. Um, you've already won your battles, you've already come through to the other end, but there's just this other, like, I feel like misogynistic energy that wants to take over and try to make you feel like misplaced. There's, even if you look in the stainless glass window here, you can see there's a mother with a child. Okay, you are somebody who has dreams, I feel like, of being a mother, of taking care of children, or maybe you have a sense of pride in the work you do. Maybe you work with mothers and children, helping them, protecting them. You have your three swords here. You have your battle scars to prove it. Okay, these are your accomplishments here. Okay, like, you've earned your time of peace. The fourth sword is right there. This is one of those like Renaissance caskets, where it's like made of stone, and then the top part is like the person who passed away, like a left them laying down, but it's all like usually done in like stone, and then their hands are like together in like a prayer mode, like, pray for me, please. Okay, like, I feel like, please pray for my time of rest and my time of relaxation, because it's like so well deserved. Oh yeah, temperance here. These also look like irises in the weeds here. And she's standing by the water. One foot is dipped in. I think you're dipping your toes back in a little bit. You're not ready to like fully like date and like explore. Maybe you're a single mom, but you're not. Single moms. I was a single mom, and trust me, we didn't want to just be like dating anybody. We like had to like vet people first, because we have to think about our kids. So, you're taking your time here. Temperance is all a card about taking your time, going in slow motion, okay? Not really fully racing ahead, full speed ahead, okay? Also, temperance is a card of guarding your heart, of guarding your soul, of guarding your mind. I heard this saying not too long ago, and it's a little bit, risque of a saying, a little bit rated R in the rated R level there, but it's like, what's good for the whole isn't always good for the soul. And I think that's kind of what's happening here with you, Libra. Okay, you are realizing that, like, yes, there might be some good looking person out there that wants to get with me, but is that really good for my soul? Is it really going to give me the fulfillment I need? You're on a next level here of when it comes to finding your soulmate and finding someone you can really view as like a life partner, or even just like, a friend that you get along with, and you build off of that connection. Okay, um so it's a card of taking your time. Okay, Page of Swords. Yeah, you're not afraid to stand up for what you believe in. Okay, you're not afraid to go to war for what you believe in, go to battle for what you believe in, stand up in your belief system, your values. Okay, there are a lot of guys that are going to try to devalue you. Okay, Libra, you probably have already had this happen to you. And as soon as they start devaluing you, as soon as they don't appreciate your accomplishments and your goals, you need to kick them to the curb, because that is a red flag for sure. If a man is so misogynistic that he doesn't even appreciate you and your hard work, then he doesn't deserve to be with you. And the Page of Swords is reminding you of that, because this is a lesson I feel like that, as a woman, I've learned very early on in my life, is that there are going to be men who keep wanting and wanting and wanting me to shower them with affection, give them abundance, give them, a feeling that makes them feel good about themselves, boost their ego. Yeah, I'm not about that life. I really don't care if your ego gets boosted or not. Really don't care if you feel good or not. I care about what I like. I care about what I need. And Libra, the more you do this, the more you tell yourself this, the more stronger and empowered you're going to feel when it comes to your love life and your dating life and, all that other extra stuff. Because if you're single, the Page of Swords is usually a card of like, I'm single and like, I'm not going to be mingling with just anybody. You know what I'm saying? Because some people aren't worth my time. Yeah, Page of Pentacles. Okay, so this guy, he obviously really values you, and I think he understands that you need to feel connected to your higher self, your higher conscious. You are looking for something serious and long term, and he's offering you that space that you need to grow and learn. He's not like an aggressive, he's not very like, I think he's assertive, but like in a good way. And he's more on that level playing field of like, let's take things slow and steady. Let's not rush into something. Okay. Yeah, we got the Six of Cups. Yeah. Okay. This is like that young, playful energy where, maybe your high school sweethearts, maybe you guys met in like kindergarten, or when you guys were kids, you were playmates and you grew up together. This is that young love feeling. And if even maybe this is just somebody who brings that energy out in you, a playful side to you, a more fun, playful side to you. And it's all about how you are feeling when it comes to like love and romance, because this is really a card of romance. It's not just, oh, let's meet, let's like, it's not like just like a hookup one night stand type of deal. This is like, let's go on an actual date, let's go to the movies, let's let me buy you flowers, like real true gentleman romance style. Because let's face it, when we start dating and when we want to date again, Libra, you're going to be looking for someone who is romantic and a gentleman. Okay. And let's face it, ladies, like, we're not looking for just like any, anybody. We're looking for the one, right? Oh, look at this, Two of Cups. Yeah, you want somebody to align with you here. Okay, you want your energy and this person's energy to align. Okay, emotionally, mentally, all of the above. The Two of Cups is that card that signifies, okay, this person respects you and you respect them. You're moving at a more slow and steady pace, gradually evolving together, gradually getting to know each other, but it's at a speed that you both can, um, keep up with, right? Like, it's like surfing, all right? You're just going at your speed here. Yeah, Knight of Pentacles. Okay, there's this sense here that um, once you've achieved that first level in your relationship, you might want to start thinking about a future together, the future possibilities. And yes, that at times does involve financial uh, conversations. Where are you guys going to live? How much is your person contributing? How much are you contributing? There's all different types and styles of relationships. Some women want a guy that is so stable financially that she doesn't have to worry about taking care of him at any point. But I mean, realistically, there are people who, they don't come from a lot and they lose their job or whatever, and then they have to start up again. That is something that is very real. Some women will like completely not even think about that person, that guy, because it's too much of a risk. Okay, so there has to be, especially if you're like a mom already and you already have to support other people, your children. You have to support yourself financially. There is risk involved when it comes to looking for a potential partner, because you don't know them. You don't know if they're going to be able to support themselves. And I feel like sometimes even if they can support themselves, they have other issues, right? That you don't really necessarily want to have to deal with. Okay, so it really depends on where you are mentally. Oh, look at this. Okay, yeah, you're mentally here already. Okay, you have got the self-love, self-care thing down to a T. Okay, Libras, here's the world card. This is a card about you opening yourself up to your world, to letting yourself believe that you can create a beautiful world for yourself. Look at this, Four of Wands. This is a card of celebration. You are looking at the future here, and the future is you being rewarded, you celebrating your victories here. You've achieved success here. You've done the work. Okay, so regardless of whether or not you have a lover, whatever, you're in a relationship, you still are focusing on your goals and your happiness, and that's the key takeaway here, Libra. That is the key to your happiness. It's you creating this beautiful world for yourself. Okay, now, what the world does, what this divine feminine energy does, is she takes her messages from the spiritual world, the subconscious realm, and she turns it into material. Okay, and that's what you've done here. You've gotten the downloads, you've gotten the messages, you know what you're doing, and now you're reaping the material rewards. Okay, so yeah, and that's going to bring in love for you. That's going to bring in wealth for you. That's going to bring in happiness for you. If you're somebody who is looking toward getting married, getting engaged, I feel like this is more of a it's like a celebration of your life. Does your person celebrate your actual existence, or is the person you're going to meet in the future going to celebrate your actual existence? This is your actual existence here. This is your life. Remember that, Libra. It's not your person's life. It's not your future person's life. It's your life. And if you meet somebody and they want to share that life with you and celebrate that life with you, that's great. If not, kick them to the curb. Okay? Oh, look at this. Ace of Pentacles. There's your abundance. There's your financial wealth, right? And whenever I see this, wall, like it's like a hedge with flowers, and there's like an archway, and there's a pathway going forward. It's your pathway going forward into your garden, into your flourishing life, into your new home, into your next chapter in your life. There's the abundance. There's the financial wealth waiting for you. Um, yeah, the universe wants to give you this blessing, okay? This blessing of abundance. You've earned it. You deserve it, okay? You're moving up here. Knight of Cups, okay? This is somebody who is more emotionally in tune with you and your thoughts and your feelings, okay? Libra, this is somebody you want on your side, okay? This is like your knight in shining armor, okay? Somebody who understands your feelings and your emotions and doesn't take them for granted, okay? And supports you as well, because they understand you and they understand what you need. Oh yeah, Queen of Wands. Yeah, the Queen of Wands isn't messing around here. She's creative. She's got a fiery personality. She's passionate about the work that she does. She wants to celebrate all of her accomplishments, and she wants someone on her side to do that as well. Okay, but if there's not going to be anybody worthy of sitting next to her, then she can just do it on her own. Yeah, look at this, Eight of Cups. Yeah, this is always a card of walking away from toxic relationships that aren't serving your higher good, your higher purpose anymore. Okay, you don't need to like yeah, okay, and the sun and the moon here, I feel like this is the sun and the moon, and I think the sun is feeling a little bit sad here because you know when somebody isn't like lighting up your world anymore, when somebody isn't making you feel good anymore about yourself, it is always a good time to walk away. Okay, and I feel like you have the support you need, where you don't need to rely on everybody or everything. You can rely on yourself. um, Hierophant, yeah, Two of Pentacles, Side of Swords. Okay, yeah, the Hierophant, obviously, this is an energy that tells me that you are being blessed here, okay? That you are starting to see all of your hard work pay off here, okay? It's also indicating to me that it's a time for you to do some self-reflection and to really think about what it is that you want for your future, because I don't think you just want anybody. I don't think you want just to jump back into like the dating pool and start just dating a bunch of random dudes. Like that's not going to give you fulfillment here, okay? I think you already know how to give yourself the spiritual and soul fulfillment that you desire, okay? I think that there's just a problem with like how or when or why there are certain energies that try to keep you from your happiness and keep you from this goal that you have for yourself, where you do want to find someone who truly does love you for who you are, Libra. Okay, there is some opposing energies that want to come in. Yeah, you've got the Two of Pentacles here. Okay, so this is a balancing act. You've got your life, where you've got your career, if you have children, you have your children, you have your personal life, you have all these things happening over here. And then you have, oh, will I ever meet somebody that's actually going to love me for me? Will I actually ever fall in love? And it's a balancing act. Okay. Okay. Obviously there's going to be toxic masculinity. Obviously there's going to be misogynistic jerks. Okay. They exist. They're out there. But you are protected here. Okay. You don't need to worry about them coming into your world, upsetting with you. A good thing that you've got going on here. Okay. They're always going to try. They're always going to say something. They're always going to do something to provoke you or try to make you feel like you're not worthy of love or falling in love or any of those things. But that is so far from the truth. Okay, Libra, you do deserve happiness. And I do see here the Knight of Swords and the Six of Pentacles. Okay, I think here what's happening is that you're starting to see how your hard work is paying off. Okay, you're able to receive abundance from the universe, from source, from spirit, and from higher power, whatever you want to call it, whatever that energy is that you can pick up on. And you want to be able to give it back. You don't want to just be one of those people that, just takes and doesn't, give back, to your community, to your friends, to your loved ones, to those vulnerable, those in need. You are someone who does want to give back, okay? And I do see that coming into your future. I think you do want to help others, but it's coming at a time where once you've gotten yourself like more established and more set up, which you are working on, because you've got the Queen of Wands and the Hierophant. Those are indicators that you're becoming more established, more well-rounded. And then you have the Knight of Swords to defend you, to defend your honor. If any of these creepazoids try to pop in at any time, okay? And they will try to come in and they will try to break in. I have breaking and entering. If somebody's trying to break and enter into your home, definitely call the cops right away. Definitely get security systems set up. You don't want creepazoids coming in. You don't want weirdos coming in. You don't want any of that. Your Knight of Swords is there to defend your honor. Is very respected, respectful, that kind of thing. Oh yeah, Two of Swords. Yeah, you definitely want to protect your heart, your soul, what's yours, what you've earned. Okay. Yeah, I'm getting people who are like just like the worst types of energies here, like murderous people. Hopefully, nobody's murdered anybody that you know of, but there are evil ass people out there in the world. So you do want to protect yourself. You do want to defend yourself. Okay. You want to be careful and cautious of who you let into your life. Okay. Yeah, the crescent moon is there too. I feel like you're going through phases here, like you're starting out here. Maiden, Mother, Crone are the three moons here for triple moon goddess energy. And I feel like the crone is the start, okay, to a new beginning. 10 of Wands. Yeah, I do think that there is, a potential love interest that, is interested in you, but they are really like hard at work putting something together, I feel like, and they're very focused on it. So I feel like when it's completed, when their project is completed, they're going to have some kind of like work of art or something like that I'm picking up on for you to enjoy. Oh yeah, Four of Cups and Death. Yeah, this individual is not very intelligent. Okay, they don't understand a good thing when it's sitting right in front of them. Alrighty, they always say no. They always show lack of respect. They disregard, all emotional intelligence choices. They see that there are good things in the world. The universe is literally handing them a cup of saying, look, there is abundance, there is growth, there is prosperity in the world. But they're just like, no, they're not happy, and no matter what, they won't budge. Okay, this is somebody who's like stunted growth, like they haven't grown and developed for like more so in their brain development. Yeah, so no matter what, this person is not going to be pleased. They're not going to be happy. They're not going to be content with life. Okay, you really do not want someone like this dragging you down and like, it's like a gray cloud, right? They're just always like a gray cloud no matter what. Okay, like forget that. Yeah, look, death, transformation. Okay, look, there's the Hierophant. Okay, he's like he's pleading with death, like, please don't harm me and these kids, this woman and her kid. The king's already dead. Alrighty, he's already gone. Alrighty, so death and transformation. Okay, so basically like the angel of death or whatever, riding in on its white horse. Okay, you also have this flower here that's I don't even know what this means, but anyway, it's probably something spiritual or whatever. But basically it's like you have to start to realize that like transformation isn't this terribly scary horrible thing. Okay, it's you tapping into something that's on tap that you haven't tapped into before. It also could be known as like shadow work. Okay, it's a pretty popular term these days, but it's really you going into a new start of something, a new beginning of something that's going to transform your life for the better, not for the worse, but for the better. Okay, there's a huge distinction here because a lot of people are scared of change because probably because of their past and they've had to go through some horrible changes and some life altering changes that left them feeling very alone and very scared, very isolated. I myself personally have gone through those so many times, but too many times to count. But basically, like, this knight, riding in on the white horse, it's supposed to represent like purity and purification and transformation. It's like you are reaching new levels here. You are reaching new heights here. Okay. And, we all know a thing or two about like Catholic stuff and like popes and priests and all that stuff and all of those horrible things that have happened over the years to innocent children. So if this priest, okay, is a good spiritual leader that is nothing to be afraid of, then obviously death isn't going to be like, oh, you did something bad, now you're going straight to hell. They're going to say, you are safe, you are feeling secure. This king obviously did something bad. Okay, he wasn't respecting this woman and this child probably, and so he paid the price. Okay, he went straight down to hell. Alrighty, have fun there. But obviously we know that like not everybody is bad, not everybody is good, right? Some people do make good decisions and are helpful and are supportive and are loving and are kind. And this woman and this child, they might be afraid at first because death can show up in many different ways and be a scary feeling and be a scary thought. Being afraid of getting sick, the mom being afraid that her child's going to get sick. These are everyday like fears, but we don't think about them every single day necessarily, right? Because then we would just drive ourselves crazy. We have to think about the present and the now. And what's happening now is you're ascending. Okay, this is a card of ascension. Okay, you're moving up here. I have a couple minutes left. Okay, Ace of Wands, King of Cups, Page of Cups. Okay, Two of Wands. Yeah. Okay, this person holds you in very high regard. Okay, and I feel like you hold yourself in high regard as well. You want to go on adventures. You want to explore. You want to see new things. Okay, if you happen to meet someone along the way, great, awesome, adventure of a lifetime. If not, that's fine too. King of Cups. Yeah, this is a masculine that's very emotionally intelligent, that understands your feelings, and doesn't play mind games. Because there's a difference between someone who plays mind games and is very manipulative and plays off your emotions and plays off your fears, and somebody who actually supports you and wants to hold your hand, wants to be your safety net. That's a very different feeling from somebody who is manipulative and controlling and plays mind games. And I know a lot of those, okay? Too many to count. So yeah, Ace of Wands. You've got the power here. You've got the spark here. You are going to do amazing things with your life. Whether or not you actually, meet your soulmate or not, isn't your most top priority right now, Libra, okay? In fact, it's like if you're doing your thing and you meet someone along the way, that's beautiful. If not, you're okay with that. Alrighty. And look, you've got the Page of Cups. there is definitely somebody here moving into your future that is emotionally stable, that is a good person, good character, and they want to be a part of your life, okay? But you have a lot going on right now, Libra. So I feel like it's only a matter of time, though, before you meet somebody that really understands you and loves you and gets you. Um, but in the meantime, love and light always, and stay true to yourself, Libras. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.